One of the strangest feelings is starting to notice how disconnected you are from your own existence. How so many things in your life do not align with you. I'm not at all talking about like external things are falling apart in your life. In fact, your life might look pretty good from the outside. I'm talking about like you are not passionate about what you're doing. You are not interested in what you're doing. You are getting no fulfillment from what you're doing. And when you start noticing these things, picking up on them, and you can't shake that realization, basically you're having a form of an awakening. Or you can refer to it as an evolution of yourself. You might be asking yourself questions like, how did I get here? Is this really my life? Forever? Like, so sick of going through the motions. I'm so sick of feeling like I'm in the passenger seat of my own life. I don't want to live like this anymore. How do I get out of these circumstances? And where do I even start? My name's Kirsten. Welcome to my channel. On my channel, I focus on how to build a life that lights you up. When history and circumstances surrounding you all suggest that ain't possible, who are you to think you can achieve that? Don't be a fool. Get real. Those thoughts are for fools. Know your place. Stay in your place. You know what you're supposed to do. This is what we all do. Do what we do. When you have no evidence in your life that what you want to achieve is possible to achieve, you have to become the proof. Despite all odds. It's getting really hot. I'm gonna pull up my hair, show y'all some scenic shots before I come back. Oh yes, that's what I needed, thank you. Oh. How are we looking? That's good. Okay. Check this out. So dadgum beautiful. All right. Selfie stick, go. I'm still figuring out this brand new camera. This is my first YouTube video, by the way. Can you tell? Ah. Okay, so let's talk about the disconnect. So you're noticing that your life is largely fueled by external factors. You are not the driving force in a lot of your decisions in your life. Your decisions are being largely influenced by external forces, such as survival. You've been focusing on surviving for a long time. This could be, or finances. Gotta do what I gotta do, man. It's just what I gotta do. It's what I'm told will get me what I need. Or maybe you're being influenced by people's opinions or expectations of you. For example, well, you know you want that promotion. I do? Did I tell you that? I used to, however, move forward with that person's words. Even though I didn't generate that thought. But I am a hard worker. It would get me more money. I can do that. And you just move forward on a path that has nothing to do with what you feel called to do. Oh my gosh, hold on, I gotta show you this moss. Look how pretty and green it is. Or people just, like I said, thinking that's silly. That path is silly, don't do that. That's not gonna get you what you need. Or maybe you've fallen into a routine. You've been doing the same thing for so long and you are legit have fallen into autopilot. You are dormant inside of your daily activities. You've been neglecting yourself. There are so many crabs here. Oh my gosh, they just like went into the holes. Another thing that might keep you disconnected is escaping. There are lots of forms of escape. So essentially, this is when you are so unhappy with your life, you're not ready to change. You might not even be aware that you can change. So what do? You escape. You numb out. Forms of this could be watching TV, scrolling on your phone, sex, unhealthy eating, drugs, alcohol. These are passive activities that keep you stuck. You give all your free time to them, and then you wake up the next day and you do it all again. And you're in the same spot you were before. Essentially, you have zero drive to improve your life or evolve your life. It's kind of like you've been hijacked by your own life. Hold on. It's kind of like you've been hijacked by your own life. You're frequently standing outside of your life, looking at yourself, doing your daily activities, and you're like, why do you keep doing that? I don't like that you do that, but you keep doing that. I think it's time to go on a trail, which is kind of a big deal for me because there might be people there. But there's literally fishermen where I was standing earlier, so screw it. Let's see what we see on this trail. It could be beautiful, right? It will be beautiful. What am I saying? Let's go. So let's talk about the awakening. So this is when you're starting to not be able to shake the fact that you're disconnected from so much in your life. You're starting to sense that there's a different version of yourself within you that's trying to get your attention. If you think about it, this is a great opportunity you are giving yourself, and it's free. You don't need to go buy anything. Just start building a relationship with yourself. There's a version of yourself within you that has unique capabilities, unique interests, and there's a good chance you've not tapped into them before. So this is a phase where you are willing to explore that relationship, possibly for the first time. Some others of you may have attempted this before and then you got a little sidetracked in life, but you're back, and that's what matters. Now, this can be nerve-wracking. There can be a lot of fear and uncertainty in this phase because it's daunting. How long is this going to take? Maybe you have an idea where you want to be and what you want to achieve, but it's like from point A to point B, how am I going to get there? How long does it take? What if I'm too late? Maybe it's not in the stars for me. Where would I even start? But the feeling is getting louder and louder, and you can no longer ignore it anymore. You cannot continue going through each day in autopilot. Life is precious. Life is a gift. And we all have unique qualities, skills within us that we are meant to express. So you've reached a point where you can't ignore you will not allow yourself to fall into ignoring yourself anymore. You're no longer going to live a life where you're basically not in charge of the decisions that are being made in your life. Well, I am in charge of all the decisions in my life. Amazing. That is amazing. You know what? You are very blessed to have achieved that. And the people I'm speaking to, we aspire for that. And this video is not for you because you're already there. You're in a good spot. I'm talking to people who, in a sense, it's like we've been stuck in one of those electric cars where it drives for you. And we've been passed out in the car. And we wake up and we're in this car and it's driving us somewhere. And the doors are locked. We're like, oh, where am I? Where am I going? How do I get out of here? And the thing is that even when you do get out, let's say you got something in the car and you're like, ah, and you break the window, somehow you escape. Ah! You get out, and then you're like, well, now what? I don't even know where I am. That's who I'm talking to. So if you can't stop noticing what no longer aligns with you, then what are you gonna do about it? So here's my big advice takeaway for this video. You can react differently to the circumstances in your life. I know, sounds so basic, but for me, this was groundbreaking. I first discovered it 10 years ago. I was like, what? I can react differently to circumstances going on in my life? I mean, I at the time had been in a relationship for quite a while, and it was very empty, unhappy, unfulfilling. Not necessarily toxic, but just like dead. And like I stayed. I was basically dead. It's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying. It was flat. The relationship was flatline, and I was flat within it. And then I had a light bulb. I can react differently to this. So I did. I removed myself from that relationship. Mind you, that was the very beginning of me realizing I had some agency in my life. Pretty sure that's the word, like where you can be the catalyst for change. You can have control over circumstances in your life. Be the impacting force. I don't know. So interestingly, for the record, yes, I got out of that relationship, but it still took me another year to decide to want to change myself. Wait. I didn't say I want to change myself. I didn't say I was ready for that yet. We're not talking about me. That was like how I was for that first year, when I wasn't ready to change things internally. However, I could never unsee the power I had to create change, to pivot. So whether you are just gonna focus on external things at this time, I just wanna take a moment to say that's a good start. But I sure hope y'all will learn from me and start working on yourself, because that's where the lasting change is. That's where you can start achieving incredible fulfillment faster. And once you start getting a taste of it, baby, whoo, you ain't going back. Like you'll want to be like, oh my gosh, like what can I change next? Because you start to see what you're capable of, what lights you up. I want to take a moment to how do I say this? honorable mention, special mention, I want to take a moment to give a special acknowledgement, there we go, to the likelihood that a lot of you may arrive at this spark phase that you're in right now because or as a result of great hardship and or pain. And I just want to take a moment to empathize with you on that, because that can be really rough. And I want to commend you for taking the opportunity, for channeling the good in that experience. For channeling the good in that experience within yourself and choosing growth versus staying stagnant. It's a beautiful thing when you think about the fact that you would probably not be here, like listening to this video, willing to change the direction of your life, like curious about that, if that crappy crap wouldn't have happened. So it's a beautiful thing when you look at it like that. It's worth being thankful of that crappy crap that woke you up. All right, we got a beautiful view I'm going to show you. Here's a zoomed in. I can only zoom in one level. It doesn't let me oh, that's really pretty. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of beach before we close out the video. This is, hold on, let's get some sun. Just a little bit of sun, please. A little bit of sun. Oh, there we go. This is the spark phase, the awakening phase, the seeing that your life can change and being willing to get out and be and be seeing that your life can change and being willing to be a part of that change. Change does not have to be scary or big or fast. I recommend taking small steps, being consistent each day, incorporating small steps of intentional change. And like I said, reacting differently. So there's going to be a lot of times in your life where there's going to be a fork in the road and you can handle it a familiar way, which has always led to the same results. Or you can react differently. Be like, what would the version of me that has this life I feel called to live, what would that version of me, how would how would you handle it, this moment? It could be simply how you react to something. Or it can be how you use your time. This is so pretty. Okay. So if you've made it this far in the video, you are no longer willing to let life happen to you. You are ready to figure out how to create your own life, to be intentional in your life more each day and see what that does for your life. No more of this passive life. I myself am literally working on this myself. There are multiple things in my life that I do not have yet that I believe are in my future, regardless of circumstances. And on this channel, I will be documenting my process of achieving those things, and I will share with you every milestone I achieve. So I am right here with you, working on taking the reins of my life. So again, when there is no evidence that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, become the proof. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I had so much fun, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.